Hello guys, what's up? So I'm on my speedrun account. I'm currently 881. I'm going to get to 1500. I'm going to be playing over the board. This board is called the eONE and it allows you to play chess.com and Lichess over the board, and it makes moves on your computer. Kind of crazy, kind of perfect for training over the board. If you want to buy one of these bad boys, you can use my code underneath in the description and you get a discount. Let's do this. Here we go. So at the moment we're 800 rated. All right, so I'm gonna go E4. Let's do it. Here we go.
Pawn to E5.
Pawn to E5. Okay, let's make sure the board is in full. There we go. So when your opponent makes a move, it displays some lights. So I'm gonna play D4. I'm gonna try play. I'm not gonna play Gambit or anything.
Pawn
I just
takes
want.
D4.
Okay, so he takes. Nice. Also, when they make a move, it says what move it is, which is super helpful. So I'm gonna bring my knight out.
Knight to C6.
There it is. So now I'm just going to bring my bishop out. I'm not going to play any silly things or anything. This is technically the Scotch Gambit, but it's kind of a balanced position. I'm going to play some principal moves.
Pawn to F6.
Okay, pawn to F6. I'm not sure what pawn to F6 is. Maybe I want a castle. Let's just get castled. Develop your pieces. Push your pawns into the center. Get castled.
Knight G8 to E7.
Knight G8. Okay. To E7. He's bringing out to E7. He's getting his knights in the game. Okay, so maybe now I want to take this pawn in the center. I just feel like taking it. I know it's not the best move. I should be developing my bishop.
Pawn to D5.
Oh, crikeys. So now I'm going to take the knight first. I'm going to take that knight because if he doesn't recapture, then obviously I could take his queen. And if he recaptures with the knight, it allows me to win another pawn in the center.
Pawn takes C4.
Oh, Christ. So he's not even acknowledged what I just did, and he's just taken my pawn in the center. Is he going to spot it? We're going to take the queen.
White wins.
Very common mistake with people at this level is people just rush the moves. Like, the game was only 8 moves long, and he's blundered his queen. You've got to pay attention to your opponent's previous move. You've got to make a move based on what they've done and how maybe you can potentially develop your own position into an advantage. But this man just blitzed some moves out and then blundered his queen. Okay, I've reset up the board. I'm just going to randomly guess that I'm playing black. 50-50 chance, isn't it?
Pawn to E4.
Pawn to E4. Okay, so I'm going to play the French.
Pawn to D4.
Okay, it's pretty standard. I'm going to push my pawn into the center. E6, D5, pretty standard stuff for the French. If he takes, it's the exchange.
Knight to F3.
Okay, so it brings the knight out. Maybe I'll take this pawn in the center. Because it looks like a tasty free pawn at the moment,
Knight
doesn't
to
it?
E5.
Oh, wow. Again, we're playing a rapid game. Unless this is theory, I have no idea. Maybe it is. Apparently it's the Carlsen Gambit. Yikes, I'm playing Magnus Carlsen. But I'm just going to bring my knight out. When you don't know what your opponent's doing, just make simple logical moves, because they could be trying to do some gambit where you fall into it, like maybe he's trying to get me to push my pawn over here, like
Bishop
F6.
to G5.
Crikey. Okay, so we're just going to stay solid. Bishop.
Knight to C3.
Knight C3. Trying to win back that pawn, I guess. I'm just going to try and kick away that bishop before I castle.
Bishop to B5. Check.
Okay, so he's thrown in a check. If I push that pawn forward, his bishop kind of has to go back, and then I'm attacking 2 pieces at the same time. If he sacks his knight, I can just take back with my knight. I'm just going to push the pawn forward. I'm not sure about that move from my opponent.
Knight takes C6.
Oh, wow, he went for the sack as well. But I don't think that works, because not only can I just take back with the pawn, but I can also take back with the knight. And he hasn't got any pushes. So I'm just going to take back with the pawn. And now I'm attacking his bishop on this side. I'm attacking his bishop on this side. He's just rushing his moves. I guess so far the number one thing to take from this video is stop rushing your moves if you're playing rapid. Bro's used 1 minute and I've used 4
Bishop
minutes.
takes F6.
Okay, so it's probably the best move. So I guess I just take back with the bishop over here.
Bishop to A4.
So he drops his bishop back. It's probably a good shout. So he's actually down a whole piece now. I'm just going to castle and finish my development. So next thing I'm thinking, bring my bishop out. Get my queen out in the game.
Queen to E2.
He doesn't want to. He wants to move his queen out. Maybe he wants to long castle, perhaps. But I'm not sure about that move. Because now he's left a pawn in the center unguarded. On guard! So maybe I'm just going to snag that pawn in the center. Might be a bit greedy to take that pawn, but I kind of want to take the pawn. Looks okay.
Short castle.
Okay, so we just short castles. Okay. See, now he's kind of left himself open for an attack. You see what I mean? Like bishop over to a6, and then I've skewered his queen and his rook. I'm going to do that. And now he's going to play a rook attack, because I can tell this guy's style already.
Queen takes e4.
Okay, maybe he's not then. He's just going to do that. He's going to take a pawn. So now I'm thinking I'm going to take this queen, and I'm going to take the rook in the corner, and then I'm up the exchange, and I'm up a considerable amount of material. Yeah, if we're up material, we're happy to exchange. People exchange material even when they're down. You should
Knight takes e4.
You should try and keep as much material on the board as you can. So now he's attacking my bishop, but I don't really care too much about that because I'm up like a whole piece. So I'm just going to take the rook in the corner over here.
Rook takes f1.
Takes back with his rook. And that allows me to now grab this pawn in the corner up here. Now we're up a lot of material. My position's looking completely fine. He's got no attack whatsoever. He's only threatening to win the pawn on c6.
Pawn to c3.
And he's not even threatening that yet. I think maybe bringing my bishop over here.
Knight to d2.
Okay, so he's retreated back. I'm going to push my pawn here. He might be trying to attack my... Oh no, just blundered.
Knight to b3.
Oh, he missed it. He should have went knight c4. Over the board! It's scary! So if he went knight c4, then my bishop was just trapped. But he didn't notice it, so we're just going to keep going as if nothing happened. So now I'm going to bring my knight in the game. I'm just going to make some normal moves, okay.
Bishop to c6.
Bishop to c6. I mean, it makes sense. He's attacking my rook. So I'm just going to move my rook here to b8.
Knight to a5.
Knight to a5. Christ. Non-stop attacking this guy. I'm just going to go to b7. b2, sorry. I've got the pieces. I've got the board right in front of me. I still don't know what square is what.
Pawn to c4.
Okay, I like the idea of just jumping my knight forward now. Because if I jump my knight forward, I'm attacking the bishop and that pawn up the top. So let's just go with it. I'm waiting for him to move that bishop again. He seems to love jumping that bishop around.
Bishop to a4.
I'm just going to take the pawn up the top. I'm just going to keep it simple.
Knight to c6.
I'm just going to move my rook up one, which stops a check and also saves that pawn in the corner there.
Rook to b1.
Knight to c3, forking both his rook and his bishop. What's he going to do? He might counterattack with his...
Rook takes b2.
Oh, crikey! I missed a tactic. I'm taking back with the rook. He's got to be careful. He's about to hang mate.
Pawn to g3.
Okay, pushes g3, but I'm just going to take this. Running low on time.
Knight to e7.
Okay, so
check.
he throws in a check, but that's not really doing anything because I could just go to the side.
Knight to c6.
Now it's time for me to just push my pieces, push my pawns, get some queens, call it a day.
Knight to a5.
Let's just attack his one. Let's attack his pawn if he moves that knight.
Knight to c6.
I'm just going to jump in and steal that pawn.
Knight to e7.
Knight to e7. I'm just going to keep pushing the pawn now. And it's kind of just push the pawn from here and win the game. Is he going to resign? Does he realize?
King to g2.
No, he's fighting on. Fair enough. At this level, you should never really resign.
Knight to c6.
Unless you're completely lost and, you know, you don't know what you're doing. But he's just rushing his moves.
Knight to e5.
Like, he's just blundered a knight. Just take that.
Pawn to h4.
Just push our pawn, get a queen.
King to h3.
Push the pawn, make a queen.
Pawn to f4.
Pawn to f4. We're just going to throw in a check, and that is mate.
Black wins.
Well played to my opponent. Let's have a look at the accuracy of this game, shall we? Okay, so in that game, I played a 95% game over the board. I am literally an engine, bro. I could be in one of my own videos. So let's just scan through this quick. So, opponent blundered a pawn in the opening. I was wondering what that was, but this is actually the Carlsen Gambit, apparently. Okay. So here, it was a big mistake because it's kind of a drawn position, but then after he did that, now two pieces are being attacked. So he took there, which even further blundered even more. Took back. Getting the queen in. At this point, he's completely lost a skewer. Just take back, and then take the rook. Take the pawn. I mean, there's not really much to say here. It's kind of just... He gave me every move to make. Game, I'm not sure why he took the bishop there, but apparently it was an okay move. And I just take back. He stopped back rank mate, took the free piece, and then we kind of just finished the game off, didn't we? Fair play to my opponent, played on, but then he got mated at the end. That was a fun game. Nice. Just a couple of things about this board, guys. The battery life is about a month. Like, once you charge it, I don't think you'll be charging it again for some time. Pretty easy, actually. It's pretty good. It works perfectly. Sometimes if you don't put the piece on the right square, like, perfectly, then it messes up a little bit. But apart from that, it's a really good board. And it's cheap as well. It's way cheaper than the Chess Up 2 board. Obviously, it's a different kind of board to the Chess Up 2 board. That board's specifically designed for, like, chess.com. And this one's for Lichess, chess.com, like, everything. But yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Let's go.